All right, Shalom, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakakwadash, double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and to all the faithful Lakim pushing his word, continue pushing. I'm going to get into a video dealing with science falsely so-called and the wisdom of this world, how foolish it is when it comes against the truth. And, you know, as always, it gets cut up, all right, in the spirit of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. These other doctrines don't stand the test of time. These beliefs that people have in the world don't stand the test of time, or whatever people come up with or conjure in their minds don't stand the test of times. But the scriptures are always going to be the main focus. Okay? Matter of fact, since I mentioned that, let me just grab this first. Isaiah 34, Salaki. Isaiah 34 and 16. This Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Now we know the book of the Lord is the scriptures, the Bible. Okay? No one of these shall fail, right? The prophecies, everything that's written, the promises are not going to fail, right? None shall want her mate. Yeah, none of these other books will want her mate, all right? None of these books can match up with the scriptures, all right? This is the only book that you can compare spiritual things with spiritual things and get into prophecies as well as history and things of that nature, okay? For my mouth hath commanded, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them, all right? Now, let's go back to 1 Timothy's. Okay, this letter was written by the Apostle Paul to Timothy, as well as us, and as well as other Israelites at that particular time in history, and it's written for our learning now as well, like it says in Romans 15 and 4. All right, this First Timothy's, and Timothy was considered the Apostle Paul's son in the faith. All right, his own son in the faith. When you look at that word own, actually, his own son actually means legitimate child, as if he literally came from the Apostle Paul, all right? Because the Timothy's father, just to make quick mention, that Timothy's father was into Greek customs. He was Hellenized, all right? He was following Greek customs. He was speaking Greek, all right? But he wasn't he was in a heathen state of mind, but he wasn't of another nation. He was an Israelite just following Greek customs. We got a lot of that with our people now. A lot of our fathers don't want to follow the scriptures. They don't believe in the Bible. Okay, but anyway, 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse, no, it's 1 Timothy's, 2 Timothy's. Yeah, 1 Timothy chapter 6. My bad. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 20. This 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. Avoiding profane and vain babblings. Yeah, worthless talk. A lot of our people are into that worthless talk, all right? And oppositions of science falsely so-called. Don't we now in these times have our people like 5%ers? You got our people with a zeal, but not according to knowledge. They come up to the camps and they trying to teach us something as if they know what they're talking about. But every time, like for example, a fake Christian, right? He's got his own doctrine and he say he's a Jake. He'll try to say that the name of the Lord is Jesus Christ, which we don't like using that. But we know that's wrong, that's off. That's not according to scriptures. Or he'll say that you're going to be caught up and you're going to live somewhere in the sky. All right, that's not according to scriptures because rulership is on earth. Okay, a lot of us was into that when we was in the world. All right, you're going to have a lot of people with these different beliefs. You're going to have these women calling themselves queens, not even knowing what the word queen is, which queen could go back to whore. All right, a queen whore. All right, but there's so much to get into, man. But anyway, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. O Timothy, all right, Timothy was the Apostle Paul's son in the faith. Keep that which is committed to thy trust. What was committed? These scriptures, what the Apostle Paul taught his son. These scriptures, avoiding profane, right? Profane means to be outside of the temple, and vain babblings, right? And oppositions of science, falsely so-called. All right, and the word science means to know, or scientia. I believe that's how you say it in scientia in Latin, scientia, falsely so-called. All right. let me look something up right quick. In vain Baptist science, falsely so-called. Pseudo, we know that pseudo means fake, falsely named. All right, because a lot of untruly named. All right, and that, let me see what that Greek word is.
Strong's G 5581. Pseudonymous.
Pseudonymous. Strong's G 5581. Pseudonymous. Pseudo. Like pseudonymous. Pseudo means false or fake. All right, falsely named. All right, and the reason why too, let's go into Acts chapter 19. This was in the church of Ephesus, by the way. All right, this was the Ephesians were doing, which they were Israelites. They were just into so many different doctrines. Our people have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. They put good for evil and evil for good, like it says in Isaiah 5:20. Right? Acts 19, this is when the Apostle Paul was in Ephesus. You had Israelite men that were practicing witchcraft that the Apostle Paul had to put in his place. Pretty much let them destroy themselves. And they were worshiping the goddess Diana also in Ephesus. All right, in Ephesians, right? But I'm going to get to the point. Assembly confused and true Alexander. Great cried out, great goddess Diana, Salaki. Yeah, a lot of the Ephesians, a lot of Israelites in the church of Ephesus, or in Ephesus in Asia, which is in Asia Minor, were practicing witchcraft, and they were also too in so many different books and stuff like that. But I just want to get to the point. Salaki Akim. Put these men in churches. And the whole city was given to, and when they heard these sayings, I believe it's here, Salakia, and they burned, some therefore cried, and they drew and became, I believe it's here, Salakia, let me just find this, if you inquire. Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, did I write it down here? Strange, I thought I wrote it down too. I gotta find this, or else I ain't moving on. I hate when that happens. It's part of being patient too. The great goddess Diana. I think I passed it. I think it was. I think it was in that chapter. Yep. This is Acts chapter 19 and 17. Let's see where I can pick up some context here. This is so irritating, man, when you try to just get to a point and just, you know, that memory, man. I try to, you know, I got a bad memory, which I don't really care. It is what it is. That's my measure, you know what I mean? I can't really go past that measure that the Lord gave me. I just do to my ability, and that's it. Whoever don't like it, then, you know, death to them too. Acts chapter 19, and let's start at verse 17, yeah. And this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus, which those Jews are, whether they were only about the laws, and you had the Greeks were following Hellenistic, you know, pagan gods and stuff like that. Also, there were also Israelites also dwelling at Ephesus, and fear fell on them all. And the name of the Lord was magnified, and many that believed came and confessed and showed their deeds. Many of them also which used curious arts brought their books together and burned them before all men. And they counted the price of them and found in 50,000 pieces of silver. So mightily grew the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and prevailed. All right, and they had books. They had a library too in Ephesus. Just like they had it in Athens, Greece, they had it in Alexandria, Egypt. Back then, during the time of the Ptolemaic Empire dynasty, that the Ptolemies, or Alexander, got its name from Alexander the Great, but one of his generals, Ptolemy, they set up a library, all right, and they set up false worship of false gods. That's why people are already following these particular customs, all right. The gymnos means to be naked, and just reading other books outside of the Bible, all right. So let me grab a precept to back that up. This Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. This Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh, right? Now, much study is a weary of the flesh, all right? You got a lot of our people into these particular, doctrines, these different doctrines. Like you got a lot of Israelites that teach the flat earth and stuff like that. And that's why the scriptures say, too, not to jump off topic, that even King David was even told the Lord, he had already in his mind not to exercise himself in great matters on things too high for him. I believe that's in Psalms 131:1, not to exercise yourself in a great matter. Don't try to overdo it, because you got even a lot of men that want to know too much, all right? You got a lot of men that want to know too much, and they're going to end up, getting hurt, trying to know something that they shouldn't. They'll try to figure out something like, you don't know nothing. Best to humble yourself. You claim to be elect, you know what I mean? The best to humble yourself and act like you really don't, like you really don't know it. You just got to humble yourself. You don't know how the earth was created. You don't know how the Lord did this. Even ask Job. You had to check Job. Like, look, Job, you don't know how I did this. You don't know how I did this. As the morning sang together, the sons of God. All right, yes, the angels created it, the Elohim, but you can't exercise yourself in great matters. You're still in these weak-ass bodies. All right, let Yahweh Shah guide us and continue to sup with us, with the Heavenly Father. All right, so one more time, Ecclesiastes 12:12. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. That's like the Apostle Paul telling Timothy, look, my son, all these other books that aren't in the church of Ephesus, where Timothy was in Ephesus in this particular time, this letter was written to Timothy, all right, by the Apostle Paul. I don't know if he was in Rome and wrote it or wherever, but he wrote it, or Corinth, or he wrote it, and it fits so perfectly. All right, now let's get Ecclesiastes. No, let's get Daniel 12:1. We know that science means to know, right? Let's get Daniel's 1. Salakia, Daniel's 1. And let me just start from the top. In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord, that's when they took down that first temple. All right, unto Jerusalem and besieged it, and it was rebuilt back up. And underneath the Persian Cyrus the Great allowed the Israelites to build it. It was really the Most High used Cyrus the Great to allow us to build it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand with part of the vessels of the house of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, which he carried into the land of Shinar, which we know that's in the Babylonian region, Shinar, okay, Mesopotamia, to the house of his God. All right, because you had these heathens practice and follow different gods and different beliefs and stuff like that. All right, and they just practice or follow some strange gods that don't even have breath, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his power, and he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Yasharallah, the Israelites, you should call Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, so on and so forth, okay? And of the king's seed, and of the princes, children, all right, in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom. Now the elect are skillful in all wisdom. Like that video I posted up about a week and a half ago. I believe it was about a week and a half ago, whenever it was, but I posted it up. It was about the apostles cutting up Tucker Carlson. You know Tucker Carlson and Fox 5 and stuff like that. That he pretty much got confounded with ease. Like the apostles were pretty much playing with him. Simple scriptures here and there. He couldn't even answer. They asked him, what's his national, you're a fake a Jew, or they asked him if he's a Jewish or something. I believe he said, no, he's a Christian. What does the word Christian mean? He answered what the word Christian means, anointed, but they went into who the Lord died for and stuff like that. You know, and telling them that you're going to go into slavery because you're Esau Edom, telling Tucker Carlson that. That's showing that the wisdom of this world is foolishness. So the apostle Timothy was confronted by as heathens as well as a lot of our people into different philosophies, all right, and different beliefs, all right, and Timothy cut him up. He cut him up, and the apostle Paul was grounded Timothy through the spirit and power of Yahweh to stay in that particular doctrine and don't get carried away, going to move about to and fro and following different other doctrines. Okay, so the apostle Timothy cut up them fake Israelites that were worshiping false gods, all right, in different beliefs in these different books they had in Ephesus, which is in Asia Minor once again, all right. And cunning in knowledge, see that in the background, there's this fake ass Christian on a loudspeaker. I guarantee you, he don't know what he's talking about, all right. I guarantee he don't know the name of the Lord or nothing. But anyway, and understanding and cunning in knowledge. All right, we're cunning, but in knowledge. In the right-hand side, we're cunning in knowledge, all right, and understanding science. Also, science can mean also to separate too, because we separate well, the Lord does it. We separate, rightly dividing the word of truth. We separate the real from the fake, all right, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, all right, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, Salakia, and knowledge and cunning in knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. All right, that's Lashwan Kodash. But you had I believe I'm right on that. Salakia if I'm wrong. Okay, but you had the even Daniel. You had Israelites. You had Daniel's 3 friends. All right, not only Daniel's 3 friends, it was a lot of us over there in the Babylonian captivity, all right, which we knew science, we knew our God, our power, okay. Daniel even broke down a dream perfectly to Nebuchadnezzar and said, look, man, this is going to happen, all right. I got to go into that more though, but just I know Daniel did break a dream to Nebuchadnezzar, all right, and said this was going to befall you and your kingdom, all right. Even Nebuchadnezzar was eating grass like a damn beast, all right. The Most High made Daniel, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah made Nebuchadnezzar. So like if I said Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar eat grass like a beast, you know. What other scripture I have? Let's go to Sirach chapter 39 and 1. Sirach chapter 39 and 1. This Sirach chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied. What does it mean to be occupied? To constantly do the works, to keep on pushing. When rebuke comes, you still take it patiently. All right? You take it patiently, just continue to go. Just continue pushing. And is occupied in the meditation thereof. You meditate on these scriptures. You don't go meditate on another philosophy or another doctrine or another book. You meditate on the scriptures because you're going to be like these people out here. You're going to be bugged out. All right. Is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Right. The wisdom of all the ancients represents our forefathers, those that stay grounded in this truth, those that were sharp in science. OK, and we have to continue to be steady on our watch, all right? We're still in the flesh. You're going to have brothers giving each other evil eyes and stuff like that. We know that because we're in the flesh, all right? You can't hate your brother in your mind, okay? Don't say you love your brother, but you actually hate him in your mind. You're actually happy that he's not around, all right? You're going to have people like that. They're going to be like, oh, boy, here he goes, all right? And this happens a lot. Like, you got men that don't even want to be around each other, all right? And that's not the spirit of Yahweh Shai. All right, that's not the spirit of Yahweh Shai. All right, he will keep the sayings of the renowned. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. Matter of fact, let me grab that, because Timothy was conversant in dark parables. All right, I will utter dark parables of old, and we're going to go into that definition. Dark. Psalms. I think it's in Psalms. I wrote that wrong. Parables. All right, it's all good. Yeah. Psalm 78 and 2. Psalm 78 verse 2. Psalms 78 verse 2. Bam. No, I put Psalms. Serious? Just touch Psalms. Psalms 78 and 2. Okay, here we go. This is start at verse 1. Psalm 78 verse 1. Give ear, O my people, to my law. And the Most High's people are the Israelites, okay? Starting with the tribe of Judah, okay, you so-called Negroes, okay, of Naphtali, you so-called Argentinians, okay, you so-called Puerto Ricans, Ephraim, Zebulun, you so-called Panamanians, all right? And the list goes on. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth, which the words of the Most High's mouth are these scriptures, okay? I will open my mouth in a parable. How is the Lord opening his mouth? By using the prophets as his mouthpiece, like it says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, all right? With the spirit of his mouth, all right? We're destroying and consuming Esau's kingdom. And by the way, if you didn't know, Esau, Edom is the so-called white man once again, for the billionth time, all right? We're going to keep saying that. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. So it ties in what? With the scripture I just read in Sirach 39. All right? We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and his strength and his wonderful works that he hath done. All right? Khan. And it goes on to, it deals with the Israelites only. But let's look at that word, dark sayings, right? Gotta look at these definitions. Apostle Noah Gabar always encourages brothers, not only Apostle Noah Gabar, but all the apostles. All right, but let's go into, I will utter, in a parable, I will utter dark sayings. See what that says?
Strong's H2420. Chida. Chida.
That's a Hebrew. Kayada. I don't know if I said that. Kayada. Brothers, I got to get better in the Hebrew. I'm like very bad. Very bad. In the kingdom, Lord willing, of course, we're going to speak it fluently. All right, riddle. Okay, which is H2420. Once again.
Strong's H2420. Chida.
Strong's H2420. Okay? Riddle, difficult question. Parable, enigmatic saying or question. Yeah, Yahweh Shai is like an enigmatic enigma, which means really hard to understand. You're not going to figure out Yahweh Shai. That's why he's a stumbling block. The Apostle Timothy was a stumbling block to those wicked Israelites that were around in Ephesus. All right, or whether Timothy went, but he was like a stumbling block because he preached Yahweh Shai, the resurrection, okay, these vile bodies, all right, difficult question, riddle, parable, enigmatic saying or question, perplexing saying or question, riddle, enigma, to be guessed. It's like, you be having Israelites like, damn, how to like for example, Vocab Malone, he'd be like, how the hell do those guys know all this stuff? I'm so fascinated with them that I got to go keep on making videos about them. He going to be Apostle Elder Tahara's slave, because if the apostle keep talking about you, you in trouble. All right? That's like you offended him. You're offending him, the little one. All right? Because you got these Edomites. It's like, give it up. You're not going to win. You're not going to prevail against this truth. Enough is enough, all right? Just stop, all right? Enigma, perplexing questions, all right? Now, when we ask, for example, when we ask somebody when they come up, what's the Lord's name? And they give you Jesus, that means they're not studied, all right? The letter J came about 1600s, circa. Let's just say circa. 14, 15, 1600s, circa, right? But it came, all right? Where did the term white come from? 1681 down in Virginia, all right? Circa, or 1691, whatever, but it came, all right? But when we ask people questions, who did the Lord die for? They'll be like, he died for everyone. Well, John 3:16 says, then we ask them, break down John 3:16. They can't break that down. They don't go into words. They don't study words. Then they're trying to get crafty. You got these fake Christians trying to go into definitions now of words. You got some of them trying to get it, but they can't get it because that's like climbing up some other way. You got to be grounded. The Lord has to ground you. Anybody can hear the word, but the Lord has to ground you. And the point of this video is the Apostle Timothy dealt with philosophies, science falsely so-called, because you had in the church of Ephesus, you had wicked Israelites, or in Ephesus, Asia Minor. Let me just say it like that, Ephesus, Asia Minor. You had wicked Israelites that thought they knew everything, just like our people. They think they know. They put good for evil and evil for good. All right? They, what's that scripture? They put evil for good and good for, they put evil for good and good for evil. But there was another scripture I was thinking about too. All right, they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. But there's so many other scriptures to prove that. But I think I just proved my point in this video. So I'm gonna end it off once again. In the Timothy's, 1 Timothy's, chapter 6, verse 20. The scriptures say, "Conceal not." All right, conceal not, declare and conceal not. You don't hide this truth. If you got the truth, you don't hide it. You don't care what nobody says. All right. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 17. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17. I'm going to end off at 20. Charge them or command them. That's what the word charge is definition, or command them that are rich in this world. Rich in what? Those that receive their consolation in these gifts. Israelites, they took the Judas bag. You got Israelites that sold out to as far as like false riches, okay? And it's going to tell you here that they be not high-minded nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living power, all right? Who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. And what's that to enjoy? The scripture, because the scriptures say, beareth all things, believeth all things, rejoice in the truth. Charity suffereth long. That word charity goes into G26 is agape, which means love, brotherly unity, love. All right, love unfeigned. Don't act like you love brothers if you don't love brothers. All right, and it's going to tell you here, but in the living power who giveth us richly, bringing every thought into captivity, all things to enjoy. All right, that they do good, that they be rich in good works. All right, the scriptures that we have been taught by our elders and apostles, which a lot of you niggas are a bunch of parrots anyway. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of you nigga-lights out there that claim that you follow the elders and apostles, you a bunch of parrots, all right? You're a bunch of parrots just using his word just for your own gain, and the Lord is going to search you niggas out, boy. Word is born. The Lord is going to search you out, all right, because he knows who fake, all right? And we got to be angry too. If the Lord is angry, we got to be angry too, all right? How much more? If we angry, how much more you think Yahweh Shah's angry, all right? Because you got men that crept in unawares, though, and make it harder for other men to really push this word, all right? That, Salakia, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy this truth. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 18, that they do good. Yes, my voice is annoying. Get used to it more. That they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute. Right, we distribute, okay, this truth, all right? Willing to communicate. What are we communicating in? 2 Peter chapter 3 states that we're supposed to, or says that we're supposed to communicate in be of a godly conversation, all right? Not in a worldly conversation, all right? And if a temptation does occur, make a way of escape. Think that in your mind. That way, if you got into a situation, you think that in your mind. That way, you could escape and other men could escape too in that particular situation, which only Yahweh Shah's mastermind gives you that ability to do. because some men don't know what that means. Laying up in store for themselves. Matter of fact, Yahweh Shah's beyond enigma. All right? We still in these weak-ass bodies. You know what I mean? This weak-ass body, man. These bodies are garbage. Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. Right? Because what the stability and knowledge, wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of thy times, like it says in Isaiah 33:6. Okay? Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. All right? That they may lay hold on eternal life. All right? We look forward for Yahweh Shah to return in the chariots, crack the clouds, like the brothers like saying crack the clouds, discerning a real chariot from a fake chariot. I'm going to just say it like that too. Tawadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for not allowing me to fall victim to that. All right? I'm going to just say it like that. O Timothies, keep that which is committed to thy trust is truth, avoiding profane and vain babblings, our people. But what y'all talking about? That 5%, man, I'm telling you, that 5%, that's where it's at. This is how you know it's talking about our people, because we're into that stuff. All right? Avoiding profane and vain babblings outside of the temple and worthless discussion. Leave it alone. And oppositions of signs falsely so called, right? Those that came up against the Timothy, the apostle, all right, they got confounded. Oppositions, things that weren't lining up with scriptures and how prophecies play out and everything on this earth. That's how you know these scriptures are on point, because nothing on this earth compares to the Bible. Nothing on this earth, all right? And a lot of these people are cut, they're severely cut, all right? So with that, giving all praises, glory. I wanted to go into a commentary on this verse right here on Gil's commentary, but I ain't got to do that. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. I read that to end it off with. But giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waharakak, Wadash, Yakatham Yah, to all the Akim, all the sincere and faithful Akim throughout the four corners of the earth. May the Lord bless y'all, Barakatham, to all the real Akim. They're in the right spirit. Okay, and may the Lord search out you wicked Israelites with a candle that cannot be put out. Nigga, shalom.